Hey everybody, welcome back to Podcast and Such, where we are not watching Mob Psych 100 2 episodes at a time today, we're just watching the OVA. I'm Jay.
And I'm Luke.
So yes, we're watching the first OVA, Reigen, the Miraculous Unknown Psychic.
Indeed.
Yep. So, I like, I've seen recaps before in other shows. One Piece does that every once in a while, and they just kind of have characters go, you know what, this kind of reminds me of that one time, and then they just kind of play an old episode of One Piece.
Yeah. Yeah, basically, I mean, it was still pretty much a clip show.
Oh yeah, it still was. I just kind of enjoyed this, this framing device was funny.
It was cool. It was a cool way to come up with a reason to recap or whatever.
Yeah.
Because, like, from the end, I'm assuming that they put that out in order to promote season 2 coming out.
Yeah, that's how they announced that season 2 was even happening. Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They weren't sure.
So that was fun. That was a fun time.
It was good times.
It was still 40 minutes of a past show.
Well, I thought you might need a refresher, because, in certain episodes we would be talking about something, I'd say something, it's like, oh, did they say that? Did they do that? And it's like, yeah, they did. So, I thought you could use the refresher,
It was helpful, given that we're going to try and kind of recap the season or talk about the season as a whole.
Yeah, I thought that might be a fun thing to do, just talk about the whole season.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess, do you want to still talk about the OVA, or do you want to get into season talk and we can talk about the OVA later? Or
I don't know. It seems hard to separate, right?
okay, I mean, yeah.
Do you want to? Yeah, we can just go over like maybe OVA stuff, the framing device, because that's essentially all that's
New,
different about the OVA.
Okay, yeah. So we open up with Reigen, and he's watching TV or whatever. He's found out that, oh, selling a book, that will make you some money.
That's right. Yeah.
Get him some notoriety, some validate him as a psychic.
Right.
Yeah, and so he's just like, I'm gonna make Mob handwrite this book. I have a laptop with presumably a word processor on it, but I am gonna make him handwrite it.
That was funny. What was I couldn't get a sense of this from like the captions that were on the screen or whatever, but like a couple of times, or maybe every time, maybe I'm not
I think I know what
noticing.
you're talking about.
Yeah, every time Mob writes out the title,
Yeah.
he scribbles out a word, or
Yeah.
scribbles out like a letter or something, like he messed up or something. I didn't know if that was significant or funnier in Japanese or whatever. Yeah.
I've not seen anybody translate that or anything to see if it was anything specific. I think he was just writing the kanji wrong or something. He was just misspelling something and then decided to scribble it out.
Okay, so that's just a little quirk.
Yeah, just a little quirk,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if I was missing a joke there.
No, I think that's the whole joke. I don't think there's any other thing in there. If any of our like 2 listeners know any Japanese.
We have 2?
Well, I mean, our first episode has a little over 50 views. But I don't know how many we're retaining.
Well, you would look at how many views we're getting on the second and third.
Yeah.
and so on.
Yeah, like, well, we're getting like 20 to 30 on the other ones.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Not enough to I kind of so, the reason I made a Google survey for you to fill out, and I'm linking
Mhm.
that. I linked that in last episode's description. I'm going to link it in this episode if any of our listeners would like to take a little survey about season 1.
Mhm.
Favorite episode, least favorite episode, all that jazz. I kind of wanted to do a YouTube poll because that's a good way to promote your channel, but you have to have 500 subscribers to do so.
And we do not have that.
And we do not have that.
Sick.
So, yeah. So, yeah. Yup.
Indeed.
Indeed. Yeah, so to pay for the publishing of this book, Reigen sets up a crowdfunding campaign
Yes. That was funny.
because it is indeed 2016 or 17 or whenever this movie came out.
Yeah, that was definitely there was definitely a spurt of crowdfunding, you know.
Oh yeah. I mean,
For at
things
least
are still crowdfunded.
sure, yeah, but there was just one time in particular where it seemed like anybody who had any inclination to do anything
Was
was just
crowdfunding.
like, let's get the internet to fund this.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So Reagan was like, I'll take advantage of that. I'll do
Someone
that.
would be like, you know, I'd like to eat at McDonald's. Let's
Oh yeah, like that guy who set up a crowdfunding campaign for his potato salad,
yeah.
and then everybody got mad that people contributed, and he made like a lot of money. I forgot how much he made in the end, but everybody's like, "Oh, it's so stupid." It's like, yeah, but I mean, y'all chose to do this.
Yeah, that's why it's funny.
This guy didn't do anything other than put it out there.
I mean, is it telling that people are more willing to spend money on a meme than on like someone's actual
Well,
needs?
yeah, like they're
Yeah, sure.
bills for medical bills and stuff. Yeah, it's sad
Yeah,
sometimes.
for sure.
Yeah,
But I mean, people can do with their money what they want to do.
right.
So fun stuff.
Oh yeah. We get a confirmation that Bob joined Spirits and Such 3 years ago. That's canon. That's not an
Oh, okay.
OVA fact. So 3 years ago.
I didn't pick up on that detail.
Yeah, Reagan was narrating that it was 3 years ago that Mob walked on in here and all that jazz, and I trained him in the ways of being a psychic, and we get a flashback to a training montage that never happened.
Nice.
Yeah,
Everybody
go
loves
meditate
training.
under a waterfall. What was that?
Everybody loves a good training montage.
Oh yeah. So yeah, we get a little recap of the first couple episodes, but instead of Mob performing those exorcisms, it was mostly Reagan.
Yeah. Remind me, were those names present in the old episodes that they gave the
Yeah,
spirits, or was that something Reagan made up for the OVA?
they flashed them on screen, I'm pretty sure. Those
Okay.
are all canonical names. The whole what was it? The smell ghoul and the ceiling
Okay.
crasher. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Scent
Because
ghoul.
it seemed a little sillier, like than normal for
It does
some
it does
reason.
sound silly when he says them out loud like that, but I am pretty
Yeah.
sure that we got some text on screen saying the names of these ghosts. So
Because if he came out and was like, and then I banished Stinker McStinkerton. He was a
yeah.
stinky boy.
Yeah, that is kind of what it sounds like. Yeah, no. So, no, those are their canonical names.
Cool.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yep. And then we get basically episodes 3, 4, and 5 are kind of unaltered for the most part. I do wonder how canon it is of how much Reigen knows about the Teru fight. That's the only kind of non-canon thing going on in this of like what Reigen knows.
Oh, okay. That
Yeah.
like he was not made aware of that.
Yeah, I don't know if Mob ever sat down and explained it to him because we know Mob just doesn't.
Correct.
Correct. Yeah. So those are mostly unaltered. Oh yeah, and then we get a little scene between Ritsu and Mob. We find out that Mob is, he's being paid his usual rate to do this of 300 yen an hour, which is like less than $3.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And getting what was it, 0.2% of sales, less than sales tax.
Right, yeah.
And then, of course, because Mob has creative control over the next chapter, he does indeed choose to write about Ritsu, because of course he does.
Yeah. His whole I love my brother arc.
Yeah. And we do skip over essentially the entirety of the big cleanup because neither Mob nor Reigen were there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
The whole
all of Ritsu's descent into darkness is not documented in this book.
right. Because Mob does not know that Ritsu descended into darkness.
Well, I mean, he knows the aftermath of it. He saw, saw him in the alley and fighting those guys.
Right.
Yeah, it's. I mean, he saw the end of the descent, but not the descending.
Right. He might not have context, maybe.
Yeah. So he wasn't able to write about that. So we skip over all that.
Cool.
And then we get a slightly abridged fight with Koyama. Thank you.
I don't know why.
And then
You like Leoma.
and then we're they make the final part of this OVA like the longest part.
Yes.
That being the final, I think it's final 35 minutes. It's chapter 3, The One Who Fights Evil, which opens up with Reigen and his freaking bat cave.
Yeah, that was funny where he goes up to all the hanging like yen pieces that he would use for hypnosis, and he's like picking the right one or whatever. But yes, Reagan has a bat cave.
Yes.
That's where he hangs all his hypnosis yen,
Mm-hmm.
and that's funny.
Yes, all his hypnosis yen and his motorcycles and
Yeah.
just all good stuff, man. I love that.
Yes, that was very good. I like
Yeah,
Reagan.
yeah. And then so we just get several claw fights, but with like Reagan's head
Commentary.
pasted
Yeah,
over various characters, as well as his commentary. Yes.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, so he was both Teru and Mob when he fought Tirada.
Indeed.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and his was it oh yeah. To explain the fight with Tsuchiya, he's like, I have a policy not to raise a hand against women, but reality is not that simple. When words fail, you have to use force. So he kind of keeps recontextualizing everything that happens as some kind of like a life lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that sells books.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why he keeps like every time they do anything, he's like, and that's how I taught Mob a lesson about how life isn't so simple.
Yeah. I'm imagining that he must have read like Michelle Obama's memoir or something.
Yeah. Does
That's
that contain a
that's
lot of life lessons?
probably that's probably like the whole framing device.
Yeah, I don't know.
How I learned to be strong.
Sure.
I don't know what voices I'm doing, but
Yeah, I don't know, man. You're not good at well, my favorite impression is Kermit the Frog's impression of Ray Romano. Hey, I'm Ray Romano.
yeah, that's pretty much how I do impressions as well.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Michelle Obama.
Yep, that's me. Oh, good
So,
times.
we get several more scenes of Reagan just pacing himself like in the background of several scenes. So just like, oh, he's just there. He's just hanging out. He was there. He was totally there though.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, just hanging out though. And then for whatever reason, just to sandbag them, I guess he steals away his psychic powers and holds back on everyone and
Yeah.
and tells Mob to run away, and then he's like, and then I had to show him what it was like to have the courage not to fight back, so I pretended to die.
Yeah.
Once everybody was calmed down, I was teaching them pragmatic objectivity.
Yes.
So, but then when everything was alright, he was like, alright, it's 1000% Reagan time.
1000% Reigen. That
Oh,
was
and
cool.
it's interesting, to see what was omitted and what was kept in, and he decided to keep in the story of him telling the whole our bond at feeling lonely at times as boys story.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fact that
That
he
was
kept
really
that
cool.
in and kept in Sakurai's reaction to him saying it was a stupid story.
Yes. But
I
that
was
was
kind of
like I wonder if maybe that part is trending more in the direction of like they just thought that was a funny thing to put in the clip show.
yeah, I mean it is one of the funniest moments of that episode. So, it might have been that. And oh yeah, and then we get him pasted over show and dubbing over his lines as well.
Yeah.
I thought that was really good.
Yes, that was funny. I was slightly confused for a second when he had changed clothes.
Oh yeah.
Like, what's
Yeah,
going
yeah.
on?
Yeah. Yeah, man, why'd you get a varsity jacket, Reagan?
Yeah. But yeah, the all of it was really outlandish and funny.
Oh yeah, it's a fun OVA, and then uh, we get to the end here where Mob's finishing up the book. He's with the Telepathy Club as well as Misato, and he finally finishes it. And they're all like, "Oh man, congratulations, congratulations, congratulations!" Uh,
Evangelion reference.
yeah, yeah. Oh, why not? And then Teru and Ritsu and Dimple all show up, and everybody's like, "Hey, we should probably fact check this book before publishing it." Which I don't know if a self-published book has to be held up to those standards, but Mob says, "Yeah, why not?"
It doesn't, but I guess they were probably all very aware that
Yeah,
Reagan would probably try and pull some fast and loose
yeah,
play fast and loose with the truth, I guess.
yeah, probably. Yeah, so they all read it and go, "Oh, hold on," and then
That's not what happened.
yeah, and so we get a big montage of rewinding the entire OVA and editing out Reigen and returning everything to its usual state.
Yeah.
Yep. And so, yeah, and then Reigen reads the book and is like, oh, dang. Well, it's not quite what I wanted.
Yeah.
And decides to use the crowdfunding money to go buy some ramen because it was Reigen's money in the first place.
Indeed.
And yeah, and then he hits up a bar and wonders, man, is anything good ever gonna happen? And Bones says yes. Mob Psycho 100 season 2 is coming out.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm excited to see where the show goes.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see.
Everything's pretty tied up right now, so
Yeah, I think this is it's so interesting to me, Bones's decisions here. You know, because like with Full Metal Alchemist, you know, with that not being done, they, you know, they did their season and then it was done. It was over, and they amended it and added their own story. I think they did the same thing with Soldier. I think they did the same thing with Oron High School Host Club. They would often adapt these things knowing they're only going to get one season, and so they would just kind of wrap everything up. And they kind of did that here, but they're absolutely following the story without changing anything.
yeah.
But yeah, they made each season of the show without knowing that they were going to get another.
Sure. Yeah. But yeah, I guess it's helpful that maybe the manga did not particularly after the arc they chose to end on have any like loose threads or
Yeah, it's a very the manga to me feels so perfect for this adaptation in that, like, you're right, there's not a lot of loose threads going on because all the arcs are so kind of self-contained in a way. Very very neat arcs.
at least these ones were.
Yeah. I'd say they all kind of feel like this. Very very neat, very short.
I guess we do still have the question of Varsity Jacket's dad
Yes.
is out there.
Yeah,
That's
so like the claw thing is not tied
continuity.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the hanging thread of this season.
Yes.
Yeah.
The hanging Chad.
Yes. All right. So
that's not a thing.
In your overall season thoughts, let's see. So I'll just bring up my little survey that I made.
Okay.
Did you have a favorite arc this season?
A favorite arc. I mean, I really liked the whole fighting Teru bit.
Yeah, those 2 episodes.
That was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the world's softest punches.
Yeah.
That were delivered within that fight. That was cool.
Yeah.
And I guess like I kind of liked the aftermath of all that too, with the white tea poison bit. That was really funny.
Oh yeah. I would call that part of the big cleanup arc.
Right. Yeah. Those kind of
they bleed in together.
Those kind of bleed in together because like that's direct aftermath of the Teru fight, but also
yeah. It's very cause and effect. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I liked it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'd say my favorite arc as well is well, it's I like the big cleanup arc. Which is funny because I didn't like it that much the first time I watched the show.
Okay, cool.
But kind of just seeing it all together, and I like Ritsu's whole thing.
Hmm.
Just Ritsu's whole thing. his
Nice.
his Napoleon complex, his descent into darkness. All that's really fun. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I think the big cleanup is probably my favorite arc of the season. That
Mhm.
being was episodes 6 through 8.
6 through 8.
Yep. Did you have a least favorite arc this season?
Um, I guess some of the least memorable characters to me were the telekinesis club.
Yeah, the telepathy club.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, yeah. So like that,
They
like
were
first
fun.
2 episodes or so.
Yeah, the first couple of episodes weren't to me as good as it got later.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at as well. I like those episodes enough, but you're right. It's not the meat of the show. It's not quite showing off what the show later becomes.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, and this might sound weird to ask, but I separate the idea of a favorite episode away from a favorite arc in my
Sure.
mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do you have a
Yeah.
favorite episode, singular episode of the season?
Um, let me think about it. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I like the reasoning there, though. I mean, obviously, there could be an arc that maybe coheres,
hmm Better than
better
like a
than
singular
most.
episode. Yeah.
But
So
then, like your favorite episode might not necessarily
be
be in
in
your
my
favorite
favorite arc.
arc.
Yeah, because like, well, for example, my favorite's Big Cleanup, but I will say that episode 5, that's the end of the Teru arc.
Hmm.
With the fight with the world's softest punches. That episode's got everything.
Yeah, that's your favorite.
Yeah, that's my favorite of the season. World's softest punches, as well as we get that the flashback to the incident with Ritsu for the first time.
Hmm.
Um, Teru and his whole deal. That's yeah, it's all very good.
Some of the comedy there of like cutting his hair off and then like
Yeah.
his naked body being
Yeah,
flown up
yeah,
into like the atmosphere, and
yeah. Oh,
you're like
I am normal after all.
just a normal person.
Yeah.
That was
It's a good episode. I think it's probably my top of the season.
that could be top. I think maybe either that one or I did really particularly love the episode where Mob and Teru kind of or not Mob and Teru, God, Mob and Ritsu
Yeah.
uh, kind of confront each other in the alleyway.
Oh, okay. I think that's episode. I'm gonna say episode 8. That's the end of the big cleanup.
Yeah, that was pretty sick.
Yeah.
And then of course, like there was all that great character stuff there, and there was Ritsu kind of going full Sasuke on us,
Oh yeah.
and but then also you get a really cool fight with with Helix Man.
Yeah, Koyama. Yeah.
Sure.
You're right. That episode does have it all. It's got drama. It's got Koyama. It's got every.
Got
Yeah, that episode does have a
Mob
lot. Yeah.
going Mob going Super Saiyan.
Yeah. That is a really good one. Absolutely. Good pick. Good
Yeah,
pick.
I like that one a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, do you have a least favorite episode?
I mean, probably just like episode one.
Yeah, episode 1.
Episode one was just like, this is fun.
Yeah. I think mine might be episode 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Episode
was
two.
like all girls school one or whatever. And I mean,
Oh yeah. That one
yeah,
was
yeah,
fun.
yeah. Yeah, because I like the
The-
first one, it being those two little short stories, and I like those a little bit better than the all girls school one or whatever.
yeah, I feel like I just forgot the all girl school one.
Yeah. You didn't seem to like that one very much when we were when we were recording, and that one's a lot about the telepathy club who you don't care about. So
Yeah. So I
yeah,
didn't
they got like the B plot of the episode. So yeah,
didn't care about the all girl school thing.
yeah,
Most of it just happened so that at the end, when he vanquished the the spirit or whatever, the spirit could be like, "Are you living your best life?"
yeah. So
And he could be like, "What
it's
happened?"
an alright episode. I guess the highlight of that episode is that Bob decided to join the Body Improvement Club instead of the Telepathy Club.
That was great.
Yes,
I love the Body Improvement Club.
they're so good.
They
They're
are.
so good. I like that in that last episode, when Musashi brings in Mob. Everybody's all, everybody always jumps up and goes, "Oh, it's Captain Musashi," and it's like, yes, that is the correct reaction. Musashi's here. He's the best.
Absolutely. Musashi.
Yep, the brave fencer.
I miss that game.
Yep.
Re-release it, Square.
Yeah, come on. We got pull here at podcasts and such.
Podcast and such. That's right.
We have so much influence on the
That's the
world.
and such.
Yeah, that's the such part is our influence.
The titular and such.
Oh god. Yeah. Uh, alright, did you have a favorite character this season?
um, Mob and Reagan are great. I love those guys.
Yeah, they're pretty tied there for me. But maybe Reagan a little bit more, but maybe because I've seen more of the show.
That's true. I mean Reagan is the funniest.
Yes.
You know, all the scenes with him are amazing. His whole breach of Claw headquarters was hilarious.
Yeah. Fake it till you make it, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love Reagan. I'm just
Yeah.
saying that Mob is the emotional core of the show in a lot of ways, and it is also funny in some of his ineptitude,
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love Bob. He's great.
understanding people and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, he reminds me of a younger me in a lot of
Yeah,
ways. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
because social skills.
Yeah, I mean, I've learned some
Yeah,
a little more than Mob, but
yes,
yeah.
more than Mob.
A little more than Mob, yeah. I'm a little more expressive than Mob. But I think I was around there when I was like 14 or so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if only you'd found a Reagan.
Yeah, I didn't have a Reigen. Mob's lucky.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess overall just talking about like, things I enjoyed this season at all overall I really do like Mob and Reagan's dynamic here. He is
yeah,
both Mob's greatest encourager, but he's also constantly calling him stupid. He's
yeah. It
he
is kind of weird.
well, so to me, one of my favorite things that Walt Whitman ever wrote was do I contradict myself? Of course I contradict myself. I am large. I contain multitudes. And
Right.
that's just Reagan to me.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a contradictory person in some ways.
Right. In a lot of ways, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's fun.
Yeah, and then, and again, I like this season for, Ritsu's arc here, kind of had a little bit of a identity crisis, as well as, I think the biggest thing that Ritsu learned was that
Hmm.
Mob is not an unfeeling time bomb, that he does care about him.
Yes. Yeah.
Is I think Mob realizes that as well, as that he's not reaching out or communicating with Ritsu very well.
Mhm.
And that Ritsu was probably in question for Ritsu, that Mob even cared about him. But now he knows.
Right.
And Ritsu also knows that, he's working on this whole explosion thing. He's got Reigen to talk to and all that jazz.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a real neat season. Did you have any overall thoughts or anything you particularly liked this season?
I did really enjoy the just the relationship between Mob and Ritsu, and that to me was the foundation of like the season arc.
Yes, yeah, that was
The
what this
season
season
was
was built on. Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that's cool.
Yeah, it was good stuff for everybody.
Yeah.
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 Uh,
Yeah, do you have any other thoughts? Or I can give you the next episode's title.
yeah, give me the next episode's title.
All right. See, the first episode of season 2 will be called Ripped Apart. Someone is watching.
Sick.
Yeah,
Sounds cool.
any predictions or hopes or whatever?
Well, someone or something is gonna be ripped apart, uh, whether it's physically or metaphorically, emotionally, you know. And
Yeah.
then I'm fairly certain that someone will also be watching.
Thank you for that insight. Do you have any prediction of who that someone might be?
No.
No. Great, thank you. Thank you for your insights. This is why people tune in. This is why people listen to us.
I bring the hard hitting content.
All right.
Yep.
Well, thank you everyone for. Did you have anything else you wanted to say before I signed off?
No, that was it. That was
Okay,
all.
cool.
I can only bless the world with so much,
Okay.
insight into what is coming.
Oh yeah. Thank you everyone for listening to Podcast and Such. Next week we'll be talking about Mob Psycho 100 Season 2, Episodes 1 and 2. Part Someone's Watching. Bye.
Bye.